Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla hackers finding Elon Mode, Tesla vehicles selling out at the end of the quarter, Tesla's venture into wireless charging, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, another company has joined in on what Elon is calling the NACS Coalition, and this time it's an EV startup rather than a legacy automaker. I reported in my last video that Mercedes-Benz was considering adopting the standard, and now Rivian has announced that they'll be offering Tesla supercharger access to drivers in addition to their own adventure network. When Tesla renamed the Tesla Charger the North American Charging Standard, no other company had actually accepted it as a standard. Now though, seemingly all at once, companies all over the world are embracing it, starting with Ford, one of Tesla's largest competitors. Ford EV drivers will soon be able to access the 12,000 Tesla superchargers in the US and Canada, but now Ford vehicles will also be coming with the NACS plug starting in 2025. This news seems to have convinced quite a few people that this standard is the future. Starting in the spring of 2024, R1S and R1T owners will be able to get an adapter that will allow charging on the supercharger network. They'll also be incorporating the NACS charge ports on their R1 platform starting in 2025 and on their upcoming R2 platform from the beginning. The CEO said though that the company will continue to expand their own charging network. Rivian is aiming to open 600 adventure network stations with over 3,500 DC fast chargers, but they're not there yet. If Rivian is planning to incorporate an NACS port in their vehicles, it's unclear if their new stations will utilize that or their own technology. This could, in theory, become an advantage over Tesla because now Rivians can access Tesla superchargers, but Teslas can't access all of Rivian's adventure network, only the slower level 2 chargers that go up to 11.5 kilowatts. I wouldn't be surprised though if they eventually come to an agreement where Teslas can access that whole network. Speaking of Tesla's supercharger network, the way Tesla is able to keep their system running as smoothly as it does is through a diligent monitoring system. In a new video, they revealed a sneak peek into that system. They've released a series of videos explaining some features inside their vehicles, and in their supercharger video, there were a few frames showing the monitoring system. In this frame, you can see the status of all the supercharger stations in North America. It shows that only 2 out of nearly 2,000 stations in North America are offline, with around 24 stations having temporary outages or closures. Tesla can use this data to make sure their stations are operating properly, but they can also see traffic, which is very helpful in determining where to build more stations. It looks like the areas with the highest traffic are in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and New York City. That doesn't come as much of a surprise, but it's good that Tesla can see just how often these stations get super long wait times, and when they may need maintenance. With this data, Tesla can be more systematic about where to build new stations. It's another benefit of the interconnectivity of Tesla's products. I'm curious to know what, quote, reduced service means specifically, because there are a lot of yellow dots on this map signifying that. I'm guessing it means, for one reason or another, chargers aren't outputting their maximum wattage, which I've definitely encountered when charging. There's a separate indicator for a post being down, and I luckily don't see many of those out on the road. This video also shows how Tesla's vehicles are able to plan long routes using this data. If your car sees that a supercharger is full or offline, it'll suggest a different one. So far, I haven't seen this with any other network. I've definitely been directed to chargers that weren't working in other EVs. This data is going to be crucial for Tesla to monitor how their system responds to the increased traffic they're about to see from those EVs from other automakers. And it's cool that we get to see exactly why Tesla's network is so much more reliable than the competition. Competitors may have this data, but Tesla is definitely acting on it actively, and their technology seems to be much more reliable from the ground up, so they have less issues. Next up today, as we're approaching the end of the quarter, Tesla has been pulling out all the stops to sell vehicles. The current offers are the $7,500 tax credit for both the Model 3 and Y that has been in place for a bit now, 3 months of free supercharging when you buy a Model 3 before June 30th, and 3 years of free supercharging for a Model S or X. For the Model S or X as well, Tesla is offering around $8,000 off when buying a car in inventory, which is one of the best deals we've seen there. At the same time as well, those referring get 20,000 referral points, which is 10 times that of a Model 3 or Y, and the buyer gets $1,000 off and 3 months of free FSD. Then for the Model 3, which we're particularly seeing Tesla push right now before we expect a refresh, they've been offering up to $3,000 off in inventory. These are all incentives to help drive sales as Tesla approaches the end of the quarter, since they can't hold on to inventory like other automakers, and it appears to be working. At the same time, Tesla may need it to work even more in the next few days. According to Electrek, quote, Tesla's new car inventory in the US has plummeted to a new low not seen since the beginning of the discounts, as the automaker appears to successfully liquidate liquidate its inventory for the end of the quarter. One of the biggest contributors, as expected, appears to be the Model 3. That has gone down about 1,000 units in the past week, according to Electrek. However, depending on your area, there may still be plenty of Model 3s available. Near me, I could pick up almost any Model 3 configuration I want for a little over $3,000 off. Tesla's discounts appear to be working to a degree, but with about a week to go in the quarter, I won't be surprised if we see Tesla dropping Model 3 prices even further. They can't realize revenue until they sell these cars to customers, and customers are very aware of the refreshed Project Highland potentially right around the corner. More price drops could help customers take the plunge easily, so we may see even more in the next week. Of course, that's just speculation, but it appears to be a pattern each quarter with Tesla, and this quarter in particular. Next up today, an interesting Easter egg has been found in Tesla's vehicle software. Tesla hacker Green is known for finding Tesla software features before they arrive to the public, and this one is very interesting. As part of Tesla's FSD package, he found a feature that he dubbed Elon Mode. He detailed the experience using it and then explained what it is. Quote, "It's a special autopilot mode where there are no nags. The braking is less intense and probably some other changes under the hood I did not fully explore." So this eliminates steering nags or any driver monitoring from what we can tell, since this is being demonstrated on an older Tesla without a camera. It very well could be a peek at the future of this system from Tesla. Right now, Tesla requires an attentive driver to apply slight turning force every so often when using Autopilot. For the FSD beta, this is moved to aggressive driver monitoring using the interior camera that will give you strikes if you are caught not paying attention. This is because the system is not autonomous and still depends on a driver to take over in difficult scenarios when FSD can't handle it. Back in December, Elon Musk responded to a tweet about this nag though. The original tweet said, "Users with more than 10,000 miles on FSD beta should be given the option to turn off the steering wheel nag." And Elon said, "Agreed, update coming in January." Of course, that feature never arrived, and it quickly, back in January, got the attention of NHTSA. However, it seems that this feature is indeed there in code, and is a mode that can be enabled if you know how to do so. This very well could be the mode in FSD software that Elon himself uses when testing FSD, as we know he does regularly. This could definitely be a peek at where Tesla is heading in the future for FSD if they can achieve safety better than that of a human driver. Some think this is just around the corner, while others think this is still decades away from such an achievement. Elon, as is customary each year dating back to 2017, says it's coming this year. For those worried about hacking here, Green has said that Tesla's security has come a long way in the last 6 years. Quote, "They keep improving, resulting in a puzzle that keeps getting better. Rarely you see this level of care elsewhere, though my experience is limited." Speaking of FSD and Tesla's auto features, Elon briefly mentioned two important feature updates coming in the near future. Two features that Tesla has shipped for a while that do not perform well are auto wipers and smart summon. Each have their own flaws and do not live up to their promise. As such, in the next few weeks we should be seeing updates to both. Elon tweeted, quote, "Actually Smart Auto Wiper software releases in about 3 weeks. Our patented Actually Smart Summon is probably a month or two after that." This summon could include reverse summon, which Tesla has talked about for a while, where the car will drop you off and find a parking spot for you, but I imagine in the immediate we'll just see a summon feature that actually works. It will also need to work without ultrasonic sensors, since Tesla now ships cars without those. Next up today, we have some interesting developments from Tesla regarding the future of charging your EV. Right now, when you charge a Tesla, you plug in a physical cable. They're actually in the process of making their charging connector, NACS, the standard for automakers, with GM, Ford, and Rivian signing on so far. For now, this is the best option, but long-term, wireless charging could become particularly useful for ease of use, as well as autonomy. A robotaxi would still require a human to plug in the charging cable when the car needs a charge, as of right now. A few months ago at Tesla's Investor Day, they detailed how things have been going with their vast and growing supercharger network, but also shared a slide about the cool things they plan to do in the future. They want to build a Tesla supercharger diner, and also do whatever is on the right of this slide here. When we zoom in, we can see that it's an entirely new wall connector, and there is a mat located under the car. This points to a future of wireless charging that Tesla is working on. Several companies are working on wireless charging for EVs, and I did a full video recently including that among many EV battery innovations we could see in the future. In any case, a new report says that Tesla is interested in buying Weferian, a German company that specializes in wireless charging systems for a variety of industrial EVs. Quote, "The shareholders intend to sell their shares in the company to Tesla International BV by means of a purchase agreement. Weferian offers wireless charging for many things, including mobile robots, so we could see them apply this tech to future electric vehicles as well as the Tesla bot." Tesla has been working on wireless charging for quite some time under the codename Project Garfield, and sources say that their charging speeds are able to rival that of a current wall connector. These would be big developments for the future of Tesla's EVs, and purchasing this company could help them actually bring it to market at scale. We'll see what happens with this deal, but it points to Tesla definitely being serious in this arena. Next up today, Cars.com has released their latest 2023 American-made index. As may come as no surprise to Tesla owners, but a surprise to many others, Tesla completely swept this list. This list breaks down the top 100 most American-made cars, and Tesla took spots 1 through 4 with each car that they currently make. It's the Model Y, Model 3, Model X, and Model S respectively. Following Tesla is the Honda Passport, VW ID4, Honda Odyssey, and Acura MDX. The next time we see an American automaker on this list is the Lincoln Corsair in slot 16, then the Chevy Corvette in 19th. The Ford F-150 Lightning is the first Ford-branded car on this list, and it's in 38th place. According to the report, quote, a substantial year-over-year boost in employment at its plant in Austin, Texas, where the #1 ranked Model Y is produced, aided all Teslas in our workforce calculations and ultimately lifted the Model X and Model S, lagging of yesteryear, to complete the sweep. Here are all the locations where the top 10 vehicles are made. As we know well, Teslas are all made in California, with the Model Y being made in both California and Texas now. This will likely continue well into the future as Tesla only plans to expand their US factories and will want to ensure that all of their popular cars fully qualify for the EV tax credit. It'll be interesting to see if the Cybertruck makes this list in the future in some way though, because according to Cars.com, it will be too heavy to have the same data reported about it. Speaking of the Cybertruck, we have a couple new sightings of it in the wild. It's confirming that Tesla has many versions of the latest prototype out doing testing. Right now, we can track down at least 5. Tesla owners San Joaquin Valley posted these photos of 2 separate Cybertrucks loaded onto a truck. We aren't sure what for, but they're likely being carried to different areas than Tesla has used thus far for some final validation testing. We can clearly see that this is the latest Cybertruck prototype because of the side mirrors, and one interesting note is that the front Cybertruck has its tonneau cover closed and the rear has it open. In recent sightings, we've mostly just seen this cover open. At the same time, we've now seen 2 Cybertrucks in the same parking lot that are both camera wrapped. There have been multiple sightings of a camera-wrapped Cybertruck at this point, and now we see that Tesla has multiple of them. Elon also responded to a video of the camera-wrapped Cybertruck at an In-N-Out Burger saying it's a tradition. This all comes at the same time the Cybertruck has been spotted being loaded off of a plane in New Zealand, seemingly for winter testing. So that's at least 5 Cybertrucks we're seeing at the same time, and the hope is that soon enough we'll see them rolling out of Giga Texas, where Tesla will be producing them. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. GM is planning their 4th EV battery plant in a joint venture with Samsung SDI. It'll be a $3 billion investment, and this is in addition to the 3 EV battery factories they're planning through a joint venture with LG Energy. GM has also changed the way they're approaching the Chevy Bolt recall. In 2021, Bolts made after 2017 were recalled due to several battery fires. Their solution was to replace the battery on all pre-existing Bolts with the affected LG battery packs. Now though, they're notifying customers that they have a software fix that can diagnose if the battery has any issues rather than replacing it. One owner reported that GM also said most of the batteries they had replaced were found to not be defective and therefore didn't need to be replaced. A spokesperson said, quote, the software will continually monitor the battery to detect any potential anomalies, and if none are detected after approximately 6,200 miles, 10,000 kilometers of use, the battery will automatically return to 100% state of charge without a return trip to the dealer. Then if an anomaly is found, the owner will need to schedule a replacement. Some people feel that GM is trying to weasel their way out of giving out battery replacements here, but if the battery doesn't actually need to be replaced, it's smart for them to try to minimize that as much as possible. Otherwise, they're just wasting money and battery resources. Cadillac has released a teaser video for their Escalade IQ EV that they announced in May. In the video, you can see the front end of the car and a few close-up shots, but they haven't really revealed any new information. Cadillac has confirmed that this car will be produced at their Factory Zero facility in Detroit, which they've invested $2.2 billion into retool for EV production. As far as that front end goes, it looks a little more like the Lyriq and Celestiq than their current Escalade. As pointed out by Electrek, the IQ added onto the name means it matches the naming convention of those cars. For more information on this car, we'll have to wait for its official unveiling on August 9th. NIO has officially launched a new EV, the ET5 Touring. It's a station wagon version of their ET5 sedan, which was unveiled in 2021. This one is designed specifically for European markets with added versatility, space, and practicality. It'll be built on their next-gen NT 2.0 platform with the same dimensions as the sedan. It has 2 electric motors and comes in all-wheel drive, offering 482 horsepower, 520 pound-feet of torque combined, and a 0 to 62 miles per hour or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4 seconds. One cool feature they offer is optional Neo Air AR glasses for passengers to enjoy a private cinema experience. It has 3 battery options with the smallest 75 kilowatt hours starting around $41,850 USD and offering 270 miles of range. The higher trim can get up to 347 miles for about $50,000. This car is currently available to order in China and deliveries have already started there. Deliveries to Europe are expected around the 4th quarter of this year, and they're reportedly expanding their battery swapping technology. With that range and price, this is definitely a competitive option and could steal some orders away from the Model Y in China, but we'll have to see. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the latest for Tesla price drops, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.